Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity, and uphold her honor and glory, so help me God.
Thank you very much. Please, as we continue to celebrate our leaders and their achievement, we also recognize the potentials we have in our young ones and the future. Can we please appreciate them as I invite another man ready for the future to come, Honorable David Ekpene, to please come word us the opening prayers.
Please, let's be in the mood of prayers. Our Heavenly Father, we appreciate you this beautiful Friday evening. Thank you, dear Lord, for making this day possible, an epoch-making day, a day we have all expected and worked hard towards achieving. Our esteemed organization, ISDMA, today elects to celebrate two individuals who have been of massive impact to Akwa Ibom State. We thank you, O Lord, for bringing everyone who has attended this event down here safely. For those who are still coming on their way, we ask, O Lord, that you will bring them down here safely. And when this event is done, we will all go back home safely. We ask, O Lord, that our proceedings here will be directed by you divinely. May there be no confusion. May there be no setbacks or hitches of any sort. We ask, O Lord, that you will guide our proceedings, guide our actions, and ensure that this event is successful and our aim is achieved to your glory and your glory alone, in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much. I'd like that we just put our hands together and celebrate not just what is happening, but what we are celebrating, which is the leadership synergy between His Excellency Governor Umono and, of course, our dear Senate President, which is why we are here. Shall we please put our hands together to celebrate that very special synergy which has brought great benefit to Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, who is here represented by the Dean of Commissioners himself, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Frank Achimong. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here to celebrate what is historic. We are here to honor what has never happened. We are here to recognize the gains that Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District has had in the last 3 years under a very special leadership synergy. And it is why the group, Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates, finds it necessary to have all of us converge in this historic ground to honor what we've never had before. I'd like to very specially recognize the man who has turned Akwa Ibom State to what we used to dream, the man who has made Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District to become an envy of several other senatorial districts, the man who has made Akwa Ibom to be a model of development, the leader of Team Akwa Ibom, none other than His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umar Basi Eno, represented by the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Shall we put our hands together and celebrate His Excellency? Celebrate His Excellency, the special governor, the historic governor. Thank you. Thank you very much. While His Excellency was acknowledging the cheers from all of us, the man who cheers or wheelchair this event just walked in. Himself, a very proud and bold leader and champion of the cause of Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. I'm talking about Senator Emmanuel Ibogasi, and the father of the chairman of this occasion. Please, shall we put our hands together and celebrate the senator? I'd like to also recognize the man who has been the first in very many regards. If you can't even recognize other feats, you will recognize the fact that the first national chairman of a party that came from Akpabio State, and of course, a minister that held a very special place at the National Cabinet. Minister of Petroleum is here, and a proud son of Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. He is today our father of the day. Please help me welcome Atuekong Don Itiebet. All right, we equally have the man whom Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District would always, as far as history is concerned, acknowledge and celebrate. I'd like to apologize for that because I just got the information now. The number 3 man, I apologize for that breach, I just got the information. The number 3 man, as far as the Federal Republic of Nigeria is concerned, he's here. You would say he's here in spirit. And the person who is very fitting is representing him. I'm talking about His Excellency, the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, who is represented by the chairman of the Senate Local Government Council himself, Honorable Ntiedo Sora. Thank you very much. You're welcome. We celebrate you. I also like to recognize another man who is, by very many standards, a pride of Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. He has held several positions at the state level and even at the national level. He is none other but the only Emmanuel Enoidem SAN. Please celebrate him. Thank you very much. I also like to welcome, of course, the man whom not only Okanafo local government area would be proud of, but not just Akwa Ibom State, I would say Akwa Ibom in diaspora would equally be proud of him. He has been a great man in very many regards. He has done great things. And today he is here as one of the discussants on our policy panel. I'd like to recognize him here, Mr. Anyekpeno Mpana. Please help me welcome him. Thank you. The man who speaks for the host federal constituency, talking about Ikot Ekpene Senatorial, is equally here present, but being represented by none other than a leader at the state level of our great party, the APC, talking about Honorable Dr. Patrick Umor, who is represented here by Barrister Kemfon Neke. And then we also have council chairmen who are here, but I quickly recognize the performing chairman of Okanafo Local Government Council himself, Honorable Prince Uyo Okpana. You're welcome, sir. I also like to recognize the woman who, of course, I would say is representing other women of Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District in this event. She is the mother of the day as far as this event is concerned. Obongonwan Obonodo Uko. Please let's welcome and celebrate her. And it will be a very great mistake if we fail to recognize the man who has opened the doors of Ikot Ekpene local government area for all of us to be here. I'm talking about the landlord, the chairman of Ikot Ekpene local government area himself, the very performing chairman of Ikot Ekpene local government area is here. Please let's put our hands together and celebrate him. Thank you. So you're welcome. You're welcome. I also like to very proudly, boldly recognize someone who used to sit at the helm of affairs of a local government chairman and even won an award as Nigeria's best local government chairman at the time. Himself, Itoro Kolumba, the former chairman of Ikono local government area, is also here. So you're welcome. We may not be able to go further to recognize individually everyone who is here, but the truth is, all of us are very important. All of us are great dignitaries of this event. I'd like to recognize as well all the aides to His Excellency the Governor from Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. I can see Dr. Imoe Temudo and, of course, the rest of them. Through him, I recognize all of the aides. I equally recognize the Vice Chairman of Local Government Councils in Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, Council Secretaries, women group, youth groups, student groups, and even the media practitioners who have hosted this event. I like that we put our hands together and celebrate all of them. Please help me celebrate everyone. And then for wherever you're seated, actually, you are very much welcome. I like that to just turn to the person seated next to you. Turn to the person seated next to you and tell the person you're welcome. This is Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. And this event is proudly powered by Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. At this point, we'd like to sit back and, of course, enjoy the rest of what this event has to give to us. Thank you very much. Shall we once again put our hands together and celebrate ourselves for making it to this event? Thank you very much.
Irong mama. Ijami dengan mana nang ibu? Irong mama. Irong uwure be irong mama. Ikon idio. Isiere. Inibru kep. Anang mama deo. Akpabio Imani song. Your Excellency, you don't want to hang them. Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District them. Ntofu. Seke enam kwang wenpo. They come together to celebrate say for nam kukang Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District them. Sa dege esebo mon wenpo nege se sobinwa. Adi sen criticize ke medai wu mi nam ma jagafon. Ade si ama nyungi nam jagafon ke ukaranjayem. Anya nam jam mo nyungi bo ke mi mo sisi tang idio ko de da nyungi tang si fon ta ga nam. Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates. They come together. E bo ke nam si ai bram Akpabio. Akpa kere wu. Ide neutral ade mi ba wo no ke sinekini party. Kere we ba ke party Akpabio mbok ja mi awu no governor. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, in Tofu, that association, led by Jennifer, Mr. Emmanuel, Patrick Akpabio, I'm Finem, who is the chairman of this occasion. I get Senator Emmanuel Iboresien, who is the keynote speaker. I get Senator, Emmanuel Noidem, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Then, Nyendi represent Governor Finem. Akere Honorable Emmanuel Frank Achibong, Governor. Governor, me Emmanuel listening. Emmanuel is silence. Kenyon of Wood, Emia Oberano Governor Jerem. Thank you very much. Some Finem Emmanuel Wong, God is with us. They were again Finem, Kusaram, Basia Bandage. Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, Basia Band, even a day, Omega we big car, 2027. Basim more than the Jedianoga Oberano, this association. If for never come from Anyajaya, Moisine, thank you very much. Your Excellency, Ikot Chairman and the host this event, the Chairman of Ikot Ekpene Local Government Council. Uvanade nekenam jaga fone tieti. Abe na rice agenda for Siogo State de. Adi inam ke local government na manye neke jaja Ikot Ekpene. Adi se bekeda sembok yamya uboreno the Chairman of Ikot Ekpene Local Government Council as he comes up for his opening remark here. Honorable Elder Niemfiok Nkom. Can we please celebrate him some more? Thank you very much.
Ikot Ekpene ma. Ikot Ekpene ma. Ikot Ekpene makibono. Your Excellency, the Governor of Akpabio State, here represented by my Honorable Commissioner, my boss, Honorable Frank Achibong, the Chairman of the occasion, Senator Emmanuel Borisin, the keynote speakers that are here, our father, our uncle, our leader, Otuekong Donitebed, you're welcome, sir. The Senate President here represented by my colleague, Chairman of Isienudem, you're welcome, sir. And our senior brother, our own SN, Barrister Enoidem, you're welcome, sir. And everybody here that have come to add color to this occasion, I want to thank you for finding time to come to this premier local government, the first experimental local government in British West Africa, 1951. Today, we are here to celebrate our own, the newsmakers, those that can bring you up and can bring you down. But today, they've decided to bring us up. So I want to welcome every one of you to Ikot Ekpene local government. And I believe that this occasion is going to show forth our own, our brothers and our sisters in their field of endeavor, so that we can also recognize that we have people like this and to patronize them. So once again, I want to say welcome to Ikot Ekpene, and do have a great evening today, and God bless us all in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much. Thank you, the brass band. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please, as we make effort to move a little bit faster, but let me quickly ask that, okay, they are already seated. Immediately after the remark by the chairman of Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates, we will have a brief performance by the pupils of Methodist School, Okana. Your Excellency, we're very particular about this school. Reason is simple. Those who know will popularly call this school Akobakama, and it's that our father, the distinguished Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Godswill Akpabio, so it is for such reason Kejiri inogi kaufang wereri kika nyugi kulke monsibare eso when any to go yansi kemino the Senate President kini so enoga miauboga no. Thank you very much. Thank you. We believe, like every other, that the collaboration of our leader, the governor, and our brother, the Senate president, is not a political accident. We believe as a people that it's a deliberate action by these two leaders to put Akwa Ibom State first. And as such, this group, Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates, have come together to say, yes, our leaders, we see you and we have seen your selflessness. It's on that note that I will invite the president of the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates, a fine gentleman, very articulate, very hardworking, Mr. Emmanuel Patrick Akpabio, as he comes up here for his address at this event.
Thank you so much, my brother Abazema Akai. I think it was one of my good brothers, Dr. Morgan Ekanem, who said some times ago, I think during his child dedication, and he was invited by Ubon Marcos to come out and speak. And he told the governor that he had been waiting for the day that he would not be the one to invite people to come and speak. He was waiting for the day that people will invite him to come and speak. Okay, today you have invited me to speak. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, Governor of Akwa Ibom State, the performing Governor of Akwa Ibom State, my boss, the leader of Akwa Ibom State politics, and the Grand Commander of everything in Akwa Ibom State, up and down, Pastor Omo Basi Eno, here represented by the Dean, very able Dean, College of Commissioners and Special Advisors, himself, the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. And let me also acknowledge most respectfully the gentleman that I'm yet to find out who is actually the owner of the surname that I carry. If we borrow this surname from Okana, or if Okana borrowed this surname from Orogana. Very distinguished Senate President, His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, here represented by the spiritual chairman in Akwa Ibom State, GCON, and most respectfully, the leader of politics in Oroganam, and of course, a man of many firsts as far as history is concerned, the very first man in the entire South to have founded the political party that participated in presidential election, and that role in ensuring that everyone becomes the governor of this state except Pastor Omoeno. But that happens to be the governor that has elevated him most by constructing a road to his house. So let's put our hands together and celebrate Atuekong Anang, Chief Don Etiebet OON. And I really appreciate you. I want to really thank you because this event was scheduled for last week, and then you booked your flight. It was on your way to the airport that I told you that the event has been rescheduled for today, and then you had to reschedule today. So thank you. It was for that reason that you were made the Atuekong Anang. Thank you. Let me also acknowledge and welcome the chairman of this great occasion. It's not a mistake that he's here today. A man who represented Ikot Ekpene Northwest. Of course, he had been to the Senate, and though he understands, he went to the Senate and he came back with imprints. One of such, no one talks about Ibawa Bridge today. Of course, the fight for onshore, offshore oil dichotomy. He participated, distinguished Senator Emmanuel Ibokwesi. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And let me also acknowledge I like to call him my personal political leader. I worked with him in 2023, and then he wanted Senate. He couldn't make it, and he did not go to court. Today, Abasema Itogokban has prophesied that Senator Emmanuel Enoidem, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I really appreciate you, the keynote speaker of this event, and also acknowledge, and especially with all council chairmen for want of time. I really appreciate all of you. Let me use the chairman of Ikot Ekpene Local Government Area, our hosts that have been very, very supportive. Thank you so much. I've seen the chairman of Itimekbo, my chairman from from Orogonam. He was here earlier, and I'm sure he's going to return. I also acknowledge a gentleman that has done very well in the National Assembly, Green Chambers, the first man to return for second term in Ikot Ekpene Federal Constituency, Dr. Patrick Umo, and a gentleman with the highest number of bills and motions as far as this state is concerned today. Dr. Patrick Umo, that has proven that young people can represent. I sincerely thank our mother of the day, a cow politics. I can say she's also representing our mother, Akpabio. I prophesied on that stance. I thank all the awardees that have come here in their numbers, major stakeholders of politics. I've seen Engineer T.D. Young, I've seen John Clayton, all of you that have come here. I really, really celebrate you. I thank also the moderator of the panel session. I really thank the barrister who done so, all of you. I really, really thank you. And of course, not forgetting my sisters and my brothers from ISMA, my executive council and the members. I really appreciate all of you, and I thank and welcome you to this event. I thank all the men, the women that have joined us here. Your Excellencies, I wrote a speech for this event, and then I recall that in my name that I have Akpabio. And anybody that bears the name Akpabio does not really read speeches, and so they can stand anywhere to deliver. How could I have forgotten to acknowledge the president of ATN and our landlord? Please, please, all of our panelists are discussants. We really appreciate you. The very legendary Aniebeno Mbanang. We thank you. I really thank you for coming here. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today not because we don't have football highlights to watch. We are gathered here not because we don't have others' appointments. We are gathered here today not because we don't have other busy schedules. We are gathered here because we are all testaments to the reality on ground, which has been the peace that we've enjoyed in Akwa Ibom State today, courtesy of two gentlemen, His Excellency the Senate President and the Governor of Akwa Ibom State. We are all gathered here today because we are all witnesses to what election used to be. And not many of us will recall that this period is an election period. That is because in Akwa Ibom State, election periods did not used to be like this. We could recall the times that people would be locked in the house. We could recall the times that many people called delegates in quotes would be forced to assemble in a particular place and be locked up for several years. Recall the times that many people would have to leave their houses to sleep in the bush. We recall the times that vehicles were burnt down at the Godswill Secretariat. We recall also the times that our mothers did not sleep in the houses. We also recall that there was a time in some parts of Anang land that people that were deserted because of leadership. But today in our dear state, we can sleep with our two eyes closed. Even when parties, primaries have been conducted and concluded, Akwa Ibom State still remain as peaceful as the church. And so that is why we have come today to celebrate our leaders that has made this possible. And that is why many times, like we said earlier, that media, mostly known as watchdogs, are very critical in criticizing. But then we, in the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media, advocate ISMA in short, we understand and then we know, like our fathers in Anang land have taught us, that to get more from your father, you must learn to appreciate them. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's put our hands together and celebrate these leaders. We could recall sometimes last month, many people had asked this love and union between the Senate President and the Governor, what are the dividends? I may not want to sign like Chief Godswill of Akpabio, but if he were to be here, he would say, why are you asking for what the Governor has done in Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District? Because if you go to Nkwok Inini, you will see that roads are ongoing. If you go to Ikoro, you will see that there are about 21.5 kilometer road from Ikot Ekpene through Nkwok down to Ikoro. And if you come down to Ikot Ekpene, many of us seated here would know that within a Mayam communities, that the internal roads have been completely transformed. If the Senate President would be here and he was asked, why should we celebrate the Governor? We simply point at the international market that is ongoing along the Calabar-Itu Highway that would transform the economic nerves of this local government area. And many people who go to Sienodim today who understand the 17.1 kilometer road from Midimedan down to Itu Ikorimonte. And for many years ago, some parts of Oborokara Some people in Oboroka, they needed to pass through Abia before they can return to their communities. That is for people that are living in Lusaka. But if you go to Saka, I don't need to mention the one in my village, 4.6. I don't need to mention the one in my village, 4.6, from Taribesi to Ekparakwa. And then for several years, we are aware that Okanafun people have been hearing for just one thing, and that is Okanafun General Hospital. Today, the governor did not just grant it. The governor did not just grant that request. He had transformed all the internal roads. Many would say, what has the Senate President done? Your Excellencies, today in Akpabio State, particularly in Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, we have a young man seated as the chairman of National Service Commission. Akpabio State has again had a petroleum minister. And of course, we cannot forget that in almost all the secondary schools within Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, His Excellency, the Senate President has constructed not less than 12 classroom blocks. I'm saying so because I've seen them in my local government areas, and I've seen them at other places. That is why we have come today to celebrate these, our leaders. And people will ask, before I leave, what is ISMA? ISMA, Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocate, is a coalition of all media practitioners. And that comprises of journalists, we have advertisers, we have public relations officers, we have cinematographers, we have photographers, we have podcasters, we have on-air personalities. Everyone that is involved in the production line of media practice, they have come together to tell our story. That is because we have seen that because of modernization, our culture is fast gone. Today you will see a young boy from Akpabio State, and you ask him, even our children in our houses, that is why we have come together to tell our stories. We have come together to see how to inform the people our true position. Before I leave, let me quickly remind us that Akpabio State once had a young man who was the first Anglophone bishop in this country, talking about Cardinal Ekandem. But we have realized that today, our brothers from the Southeast have tried to rewrite his history simply because when he was at top, we did not have Catholic dioceses that were very prominent in Akpabio State. That is why we have come together to tell our history. And so, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to please make an appeal before I go. That we have tried all our best. All that I've said, just like my father once told me, that the faintest pencil is sharper than the sharpest brain. Today we have decided to document everything that these great leaders have done in the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. And that has been put together in a magazine that we call The Confluence. The Confluence is a 224 A3 magazine, 1,000 copies printed by this group with none less than 15 million naira to support this government, to support these leaders. And so today, so that to avoid our stories being twisted, we are also going to unveil ISMA website. And in that website, we also have our own blog, news blog, where you will begin to chronicle everything that the great writers of this state have done. And that's not all, because social media is vast here. And many of us sometimes forget to watch television. In a very short while, we are going to unveil ISMA podcast. And so that is why we have called all of you to support us in this project. Because many people finish school, they don't have where to learn. ISMA, we are ready to train ourselves. Because before you succeed in life, you must be a student of those that had succeeded before you. It's about time we begin to raise the next line of the Ray boost. It's about time we begin to raise the likes of Dr. Deben Nana. How about our Dekbenom Pan that is seated here? What is the succession plan? Who will take over from the legacies of Otu Kangdon Tibet? That is why we say we've come together. And so we invite all of us to please support us, because we know this project and this tax is enormous. But with you and I, together we can make this very possible. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you. And then you're welcome to ISMA Leadership Anniversary Summit. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, the brass band. Thank you. The president of ISMA, Mr. Akpabio. Just like his son named Akpabio, they give only short speeches. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, our distinguished guests, but few things say President is matang. Adoke, ella unveil a magazine put together by this association. Then kaya nangam other activities. Mboki mo mine ki beye. Amikbo wo jirem. Mbok da so bere ndejit. Ke ba say aso ka kai sim mo ikama Kenyan Jesus Christ. But before we have the next performance by our pupils from Kobokama, but young recognize the member who speak for the people of a Sienudum state constituency, including our distinguished Senate President, Otuekong Prince Ukbong Udo Akpabio II is here in our midst. Let's acknowledge him. We celebrate and welcome you. We acknowledge also the chairman of Ikot Ekpene Local Government Council, Honorable Gideon Nowa is also here in our midst. We acknowledge and welcome you. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate all of our leaders who have joined us here. The former chairman of Ibom Power Company, Engineer Aitide Yang, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, is well seated here. Former chairman Ikot Ekpene, Honorable Clinton, is also here. We appreciate all of you, and we thank you. Please, the pupils of Akpabio, they will give us a very brief performance, after which the rest of the event will take a very quick succession. We have award presentations, panel sessions, and even the presentation and unveiling of this magazine. So we move pretty fast. Can we please appreciate them as they come up here? If you were here earlier, they gave us the national and state anthems. They did pretty well. Can you encourage them again? Thank you very much. This is our stars. We are sure that our future is secured with these ones. Akpabio talked about the succession plans. This is the plan. Please clap them one more time. Clap them one more time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
If you are clapping, you don't have to pretend about it. Be bold to clap. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Methodist Primary School, Ukana. Excellent performance there. Please, shall we put our hands together and celebrate them, please? Sir, you're welcome. You're welcome. All the way from Etemekpo local government area, I'd like to welcome Obongawan, Alice, Marcos, Okbogowo, Obongawan Unwana of Etemekpo. Mama, you're welcome. Actually, Etemekpo, my audience, more. Mama, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Representing the Honorable, the Chairman of IKA, local government area, Honorable Barrister Utube Nwoko, we have Right Honorable Isong Yosonde. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this time we will listen to a man whose statement will be not just a policy statement, but it will be newsworthy. He has been a leader in various levels. He has been a leader even at various times in our states. He's the chairman on this occasion, and of course he will speak with wisdom. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the man who will not just open, but speak wisdom to us, but speak about Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, and of course speak about the synergy of His Excellency, the Senate President, and His Excellency, the Governor. Please help me welcome, Chairman on this occasion, Senator Emmanuel Iborese. Please put your hands together and welcome our father who has agreed to join us. And of course, we'll share some very valid thoughts.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, here ably represented by the Chairman of the Serudim local government. Your Excellency, the Governor of Akpabio State, the best governor in Nigeria, here ably represented by Mpisong Frank Achibo. For want of time, let me just give reference, use Atwe Kongdon Etiebet, my revered leader. I expected that by 5 o'clock we would be out of here. But be that as it may, I want to appeal to everyone that will be called upon to do one thing or the other, to kindly cut the time, respect the time, because I do know that my revered leader, Atwe Kongdon Etiebet, in his 80s, did not stay too long into the night. Having said that, I want to congratulate the leadership of Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates and thank them for recognizing the synergy between our Senate President, our son, and the governor of Akpabio State. The synergy which has brought peace to Akpabio State. Like the chairman said in his opening remarks, we have witnessed elections in the last more than 40 years. I have personally, in the last more than 40 years, witnessed and participated in elections, at least since 1983. And I want to confess that this is the most peaceful nomination I have ever witnessed in my lifetime. I could quite remember when Don Etiebet was contesting for the presidency of this country, and we went to Port Harcourt. They wanted to do presidential nomination by elimination, and they started from the zones. And at Independence Stadium in Port Harcourt, when the counting was going on, there was a bomb explosion. And the votes could not be counted. When I contested election in 1999, they came to assassinate me on the eve of the election in my house. One person was killed and a couple wounded. We have seen what had been going on severally in elections and nominations. But this particular nomination that we just ended is like people are going to the altar to take communion. They all move very gently, like the Pope is giving communion, and they collect the communion and went home. That is because of the synergy between Governor Umoeno and the Senate President. So I want to thank them for this peaceful disposition that has put Akpabio as #1 state in this country during the last nomination. And I do know that during the elections, he will be the same. So to that effect, I'm so happy with the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates for organizing this leadership summit so that the new generation of leaders that are coming up could learn from the example of our two leaders. The media people have enumerated many of the projects that are ongoing. They are not exhaustive. They didn't mention the primary schools that are built in each of the local government, the health centers that are built in each of the local governments, and many other infrastructural developments and human capital development that are ongoing. This is the best time for our senatorial district. This is the best time for our state. Therefore, want to appeal to everyone. If you didn't register, if you know people who have not registered as a voter, please let them go and register, so that we give the quantum votes that we need to support our leaders, to support the president, to support the Senate president, to support the governor, and all other of our leaders that are contesting. And I want to thank our leaders, the Senate president and the governor of this state, for this collaboration. May God continue to give them the strength and the grace and wisdom to continue uplifting Akpabio State to the next level. Thank you for coming. We are going to launch the magazine. We are going to support the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates so that they can raise the next generation. Thank you, and God bless you.
According to Norman Vincent Peale, an American Protestant cleric, there is a real magic in enthusiasm. It spells the difference between mediocrity and accomplishment. The man, Emmanuel Moses Enoidem, has since July 27, 1964, remained spot on in drawing from life's bounteous credit reserve, achieving great feats that have positively impacted humanity at every twist and turn. The story of Enoidem and his meteoric rise will on numerous counts inspire more than a generation. It is replete with tales of how great a humble beginning can evolve, a bold statement that greater possibilities lie in determination and unbent resolve. Little wonder they postulate nothing is impossible when the passion is right. How an Akon in the sleepy neighborhood of Ikot village in the Temekpoluku government area struck the goal of blooming to an oak of global renown in professional life and public service after their claim of a recognition by the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee as the Senior Advocate of Nigeria. The highest honor of the land for a legal practitioner is a module in resilience that could easily pass for the eighth wonder of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Honorable Emmanuel Enoidem, Senior Advocate of Nigeria.
Anna Mama. He got his song. Kept, boom. Oh, we have Ikot people here because this is supposed to be an Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District affair. Our leader, the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, hereby represented by Honorable Elder Ntiedo Effiong Usoro, the Chairman of the Senate local government area. Our leader, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, the most peaceful governor in the history of our state and Nigeria, a man of God, a gift to Akwa Ibom State, who has brought peace to the ranks and files of Akwa Ibom State. His Excellency, Pastor Omo Basieno, represented here by my younger brother, a great son of Akwa Ibom State, Nkwisong Frank Achivo. Welcome, sir. Let me honor the chairman of this occasion, a great son of Akwa Ibom State, a man who's very politically disciplined. Because I remember in 2003, when he was the first senator to represent a senatorial district, and he came back and did not struggle for a second term because there was no agreement for a second term. Distinguished Senator Engineer Emmanuel Libo-Osien, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Let me recognize one of our brightest, one of our greatest, our leader, the Tuekong Don Etebet. Tuekong Don Etebet is the only Nigerian alive who founded a political party that won election across Nigeria in 1992-1993. Please, because of time, let me rest on the protocol that was established. I'm sure this, if ISMA was a clear political organization, this hall would have been filled by now. They are only diving into politics. They are only trying to establish their feet into politics because the environment is set. Because if there was division in Akwa Ibom State or Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, this organization will not hold today. It will not hold. They are only happy that Governor Moeno and the Senate President have decided to bring peace to Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District and Akwa Ibom State. That is why they have the audacity to call us here, to go honor politicians. Media practitioners honoring politicians. This is history. This is history. Something to remember by my president, consider my president, Well, my own is a keynote address, so it has to be necessarily written for records. So please, it's not very long. It's an 8-page document. I'll try and read as fast as I can so that we don't stay here for too long. A keynote address presented by Emmanuel Enoidem on the occasion of the Maiden Leadership Anniversary Summit, organized by Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates, ISMA, with the theme Leadership Synergy and Development Impact in Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, held at the Tienang Secretariat, Ikot Ekpene, on Friday, July 10, 2026. It is with profound gratitude to Almighty God and with an abiding sense of responsibility that I stand before this distinguished gathering to deliver a keynote address at this Anniversary Leadership Summit. I thank the organizers for this uncommon honor of inviting me to share a few thoughts on a subject that is not only timely, but also fundamental to the collective destiny of our people. Leadership synergy and development impacts in Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. Permit me to begin by congratulating the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District media advocates for the conceptualization and actualization of this noble platform for our collective engagement. In an era when public discourse is increasingly driven by sensationalism rather than substance, gatherings such as this remind us that ideas still matter, dialogue still matters, and leadership, when properly understood, remains the most important instrument for social transformation. I also heartily congratulate the organizers on the official unveiling of the conference magazines. The title itself is symbolic. A conference is a meeting point of rivers that become stronger by flowing together. It is an apt metaphor for leadership, governance, citizenship, and collective purpose. It reminds us that communities attain greatness not by isolated efforts, but by the conveyance of vision, ideas, goals, commitment, and by collective sacrifices. Today, therefore, is more than an anniversary celebration. It is an intellectual engagement. It is a civic conversation. It is a strategic opportunity to reflect on where we are, where we have come from, where we are, and more importantly, where we intend to go as a people. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout history, the rise and falls of nations have depended less on the abundance of natural resources than on the quality of leadership and the willingness of citizens to unite behind a common purpose. History teaches us that prosperous societies are not built merely by political victories. They are built by visionary leadership, strong institutions, responsible fellowship, and enduring partnerships. Leadership, therefore, is not merely an occupation of public office. It is the capacity to inspire confidence, build consensus, resolve conflicts, create opportunities, and leave society better than one met it. The true meaning of leadership is not the number of speeches delivered, the number of ceremonies attended, or even the number of projects commissioned. The true measure of leadership is the enduring value it creates in the lives of ordinary citizens. Leadership must answer simple but profound questions such as following. Are our communities becoming safer? Are our young ones finding opportunities? Are businesses flourishing? Are families hopeful? Are institutions becoming stronger? Are justice becoming more accessible? Are future generations inheriting a society better than one we received? Whenever these questions are answered positively, leadership has justified its existence. It is otherwise if these questions cannot be firmly answered. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme before us introduces another equally very important concept, the concept of synergy. Synergy is one of the greatest forces in human development. It is understanding that the combined strength of individuals working together exceeds the sum of their total individual efforts. No meaningful civilization has ever emerged through isolated leadership. Great societies have always been product of collaborative action. The greatest constitutions were written collectively. The strongest economies were built through partnerships. The most enduring democracies strive because institutions complement one another rather than compete destructively. Likewise, development flourishes where governments at different levels work in harmony, where political leaders prioritize the public interest above personal ambition, and where citizens embrace shared responsibility for the common good. This is why the subject before us deserves serious reflection. The Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District occupies a unique place in the political history of Akwa Ibom State, and indeed Nigeria. Ikot Ekpene local government area, the headquarters of the Senatorial District, was created for the first time on April 11, 1951, as the first experimental local government area in the British West Africa. That is something to clap for. He has consistently produced distinguished public servants, accomplished professionals, respected jurists, outstanding academics, successful entrepreneurs, and political leaders whose contributions have extended beyond the borders of our states. Permit me at this juncture to examine more closely the central proposition of today's discourse, the transformative power of collaborative leadership. There is an African proverb which says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Though simple in expression, it captures one of the greatest truths in public leadership. Enduring development is really the product of an accelerated brilliance. It is almost always the outcome of collective vision, institutional cooperation, and a shared commitment to common good. Indeed, no nation has attained sustainable prosperity by elevating personal ambition above collective purpose. The world's most successful democracies are those that have cultivated a culture where institutions complement one another, where leaders associate the value of partnership, and where governance is viewed not as a contest for supremacy, but as a covenant for service. Our Constitution itself is built upon this philosophy. It establishes distinct arms and levels of governance, each with clearly defined responsibilities, yet all united by one overriding objective, and that is the security and welfare of the people. The framers of our constitutional democracy understood that concentration of authority without collaboration bleeds inefficiency, while cooperation within constitutional boundaries strengthens governance. This constitutional design teaches us as an important lesson: power is most effective when exercised in concert with others and always in pursuit of the common interest. The theme of this summit invites us to reflect not merely on leadership, but on leadership synergy. Synergy is leadership in its mature form. It is the conscious decision to replace rivalry with cooperation, suspicion with truth, and fragmentation with unity of purpose. When leadership collaborates sincerely, resources are better utilized, policies become more coherent, and development reaches more communities. Conversely, when relationships among leaders are characterized by unnecessary conflicts, it is the ordinary citizens who bear the cost through delayed projects, abandoned initiatives, weakened institutions, and diminished public confidence. This is why history consistently celebrates leaders who recognize that personal success is insignificant if it comes at the expense of collective progress. The statesmen who changed the fortunes of the society were those who understood that true greatness lies not in individual prominence, but in building systems that outlive them. It is the aggregate of the above reasoning that has made me very delighted to be chosen by Ikot Ekpene Senatorial media advocates to present this keynote address at this maiden leadership summit, which, among others, will showcase the gains of the collaborative leadership between two great leaders in Akwa Ibom State, namely the governor of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Pastor Omo Basieno, PhD, and the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Dr. Godswill Akpabio, GCON. Our gathering today naturally directs attention to the importance of having an unprecedentedly harmonious working relationship between the Governor of Akpabio State and the President of the Senate. This valuable cooperation has facilitated and continues to facilitate improve access to federal interventions, strengthen support for state development priorities, attracted strategic investment, and promoted greater confidence among development partners. More importantly, it creates stability, an indispensable ingredient for economic growth. Investors seek stability, businesses thrive where policies are predictable, communities flourish where peace prevails, young people aspire where hope is sustained. Development, therefore, is not merely about infrastructure. It is also about creating an environment where citizens believe tomorrow will be better than today, because hope itself is an economic asset. Hope is an economic asset based on stability, based on predictability, based on peace. Confidence is a development resource. Political stability is a catalyst for investments. It cannot be doubted that this historic collaboration has expanded access to education, strengthened vocational skill, supported entrepreneurship, encouraged innovation, provided access to finance, promoted agricultural productivity, invested in technology, created employment, nurtured self-reliance, blurred ethnic and other divisive fault lines. This is very important. The unity between Senator Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President, our brother, and the Governor of Akpabio State, Pastor Omo Basieno, has blurred every existing or pre-existing fault line that divided us before now. That is something to clap for. He has restored our collective dignity as a peace-loving people, thereby making Akpabio State the most peaceful state in the country today. This is not an accident. This is something that's a product of the unity between two individuals who have chosen to choose Akpabio and place it above anything else. Furthermore, we just came out of the first party primary. A lot of people have talked about this, but it's important that I repeat it here on records. We just came out of the first party primaries after this great marriage that was consummated on the 6th of June, 2025, when the governor moved the entire structure in a political structure in Akpabio State into the APC. This is the first time that we have witnessed party primaries conducted without violence or casualties. With a single consensus list of candidates. This is the first time since 1999. Since 1999, Senator Ebo has said since 1983. But I'm very sure of my record of 1999. He's also sure of 1983. But since 1999, that I participated in active politics, the entirety of the Fourth Republic, this is the first time that Akpabio State, in one political party that is governing the state, has produced only one list of candidates for all the positions. This is the first time where there was no even one pre-litigation after party primaries. I'm a lawyer, and I benefit from election petition and pre-election contest. But this is the first time the lawyers have been rendered without a job in the law court because there is no contest, there is no pre-primary contest. Nobody has challenged, no known record of any contest, of any challenge to the outcome of all the primaries that were done in Akpabio State, in the APC. That is good for the economy, it's good for the system, it's good for the brotherhood, it's good for our society. Even though it's also very bad for the lawyers and for the development of the law. We are aware of its back and forth situation. We know that even just like 3 days ago, the National Secretary of the APC came out with a record that has changed about 22 of members of the Senate or candidates for the Senate in other states in Nigeria. It didn't happen in Akwa Ibom State. It has also happened among candidates going to the House of Representatives in other states, but it did not happen in Akwa Ibom State because 2 people decided to be sacrificial in the interest of the state. We must give due credit and celebrate loudly these 2 leaders for ensuring that the divisions witnessed during the Lagos home front era in 1981 to 1983. This is not the first time we have had a Senate president in Akwa Ibom State. Yeah, then we were called Cross River State. We were in the then Cross River State when Dr. Clement Wires, Joseph Wires, was the president of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1979 through 1981. And then we also knew what happened between himself and the then governor of Cross River State, their late brother, Dr. Clement Isong. There was what they call the Lagos Front, because at that time, the federal parliament was in Lagos. The Senate and the House of Reps were based in Lagos. And then there was the home front that was led by the governor then, Clement Isong. We knew what happened. If you ask Senator Ibo, he will tell you in details. If you ask Otuekong, Don Etebe, because they were major players in those days, they will tell you. Now, as if that is too far, in 2001, we also had the Abuja front and the home front. The Abuja front was led by our leader, Otuekong, Don Etebe, and I was a member of the Abuja front under his leadership. I was a member of the Abuja front under his leadership. The home front was led by the then governor of Akwa Ibom State, Abong Agite Victor Tar. If you ask Otuekong, he will tell you what we lost as a state. If you ask me, if you see me anywhere and ask me, I will also tell you what we lost as a state. But if I'm too far from you, please ask Senator Emmanuel Ibo, because he was a member of the home front. He was a member of the home front in that debacle, that political debacle. So what we are enjoying today is an invaluable peace that I believe will lead to an invaluable development in the conference magazine. So please try and grab a copy. Every detail of the advantages, of the benefits, of the good that this union has brought is recorded there. No discussion on leadership in the 21st century can be complete without recognizing the indispensable role of the media. The media is often described as the fourth estate of the realm, not because it exercises governmental power in the constitutional sense, but because it occupies a unique position in shaping public opinion, promoting accountability, preserving historical memory, and strengthening democratic culture. The renowned American journalist and publisher Joseph Port-Lisa aptly observed, "Our republic and its press will rise and fall together. An able, disinterested, public-spirited press with trained intelligence to know the right and the courage to do it can preserve that public value, without which public governance is a sham and a mockery. A cynical, mercenary, demagogic press we produce in a time a people as base as itself. The power to mold the future of the Republic will be in the hands of the journalists of future generations. Those profound words remain as relevant. Those words were spoken in 1874. 1874. They remain relevant today as when they were first spoken. The destiny of a free democracy is in many respects intertwined with the quality of its public communication. We must take note that a responsible media enlightens, an irresponsible media inflames. A responsible media interrogates power without prejudice, without malice. An irresponsible media weaponizes information for division and discord. A responsible media educates citizens to make informed democratic choices. An irresponsible media manipulates emotions at the expense of truth. It is therefore not enough to possess freedom of expression. Freedom must always be accompanied by responsibility. Our Constitution guarantees freedom of expression because democracy depends upon an informed citizenry. Yet constitutional liberty was never intended to become a license for misinformation, character assassination, or reckless sensationalism. That is why we must thank the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District media advocate for finding this an opportune time to promote the beauty of democracy, the beauty of politics, not just in Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, but in Akpabio State. Truth remains the first ethical obligation of journalists. Accuracy remains its enduring currency. Credibility remains its greatest assets. To all of us, as President John F. Kennedy reminded the American people in his address of 1961, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Those spoken in another nation and another era, those words carry universal relevance. They remind every citizen that nation building is a shared responsibility. Development cannot be outsourced to government alone. Development of any society, whether it's a family, whether it's a village, whether it's a clan, whether it's a local government, cannot be outsourced to the government alone. Citizens must also contribute. Professionals must contribute. Business leaders must contribute. Community organizations must contribute. Civil society must do so. The media must also partake. Religious institutions must contribute. Traditional rulers must contribute. Every citizen has a stake in the building of our society. Finally, let us leave this summit with a renewed determination, not merely to admire good leadership, but to practice it, not merely to celebrate development, but to sustain it, not merely to speak of unity, but to live it, not merely to hope for a better future, but to build it together. Let us resolve that when history eventually records the story of our generation, it shall be said that we choose cooperation over conflict, service over self-interest, institutions over personalities, inclusion over exclusion, posterity over political expediency. If we remain faithful to those ideals, then Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District will not merely witness development, it will define it. Akpabio State will not merely participate in national progress, it will help to shape it. And Nigeria herself will become stronger because a people choose unity, responsible leadership, and a shared vision over division. May God continue to bless Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. May God bless Akpabio State. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you for listening. May God bless us all.
Please keep celebrating Emmanuel Noidem, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, our pride, one of our finest exports. Really, please, with that keynote address, keep celebrating him. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please allow that I acknowledge a few personalities who have just joined us here. We are pleased to be joined by the Commissioner for Information of Akwa Ibom State, who is here represented by Mr. Enieka Nokbong. Please, can we celebrate him? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The Senior Special Assistant to His Excellency the Governor on Research and Documentation, and also the Dean, College of Personal Aids, is also here, Dr. Esiendoeso. Can we please celebrate him? Thank you very much. We acknowledge you and we thank you. We appreciate also the patron of the Golden Mandate Movement, Envoy in Center Akpabio, who is represented here by Dr. Anthony Liu. Can we please celebrate that, our leader? Thank you very much. Thank you so much. We acknowledge also the MD CEO of IKIS, Dr. Andy Ayo, who has joined us here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Representative from Amitech Groups, Barrister Peter Umoru, is also here. Where is he seated? We acknowledge and we celebrate you. We acknowledge the Special Assistant to His Excellency the Governor on ICT and website, Engineer Solomon Ayo. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Your Excellency, to further deepen our discussion on this subject, we will have a panel session. We have captains of industry, stakeholders, leaders from different categories and at different levels come talk to us about the impact of this collaboration, of this synergy we so celebrate. Let me therefore, in no particular order, begin to announce and invite our panelists, very distinguished, to please accept to move up here to where we have a seat. For time, we would have loved to roll out their citation. Trust me if I say that these men are men of substance. And when I bring them up here, you will agree with me. First on our list is a man that needs little or no introduction. He's a legend in every sense of the word. He's the international president of Atiena. Can we please put our hands together as I invite Adede Aniekbeno Mpanam. Give him all the accolades he deserves, please. Can we please keep celebrating him? Has served Akwa Ibom State at different levels, still standing strong and still serving. We appreciate you, we celebrate you. We celebrate the excellence that comes with your name. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me also invite to join the panelists, Dr. Ikot Ekpene Senatorial. Can we please appreciate him? He leads the documentary team of His Excellency the Governor and works assiduously for the growth of democracy in Akwa Ibom State. Pleased to have him travel all the way from Ikot to celebrate these our leaders today here. Thank you very much. We're pleased to have you. It underscores the unity that we celebrate in Akwa Ibom State, and we are pleased to host you here today in the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. Let me invite respectfully Right Honorable Elder Sunday Festus. Right Honorable Elder Sunday Festus. Can we keep clapping as he moves out here? He serves Orogonam local government as their chairman and is doing so well under his assured agenda. So much to be appreciative for. We continue to thank God for leaders of his caliber, and we are pleased that he's here to join us for this very remarkable event. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, We have also the member who represents Ikot Ekpene Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, Dr. Patrick Umar, who is here represented ably by the State Treasurer of the All Progressives Congress, Barrister Kem Fonneke. Can we please celebrate him? Very dynamic gentleman as he comes up here. What a team put together here by Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates. And you begin to wonder who will be the moderator to moderate this league of intellectuals. And it's no less a person than the very remarkable and gentleman, Itoro Colomba. Can we please put our hands together as he comes up here? Very dynamic gentleman, worthy of this very role today and even more. Can we please clap them, clap them? If we had the luxury of time, you will want to spend the rest of your day listening to this team here. They will just need to manage time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our leaders and panelists. I leave you now in the hands of Honorable Itoro Colomba. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, both of them ably represented, the Chairman on this occasion, the keynote address giver, all the distinguished guests who are here. It is my profound pleasure to be invited to leading this panel discussion session. And I understand we have only 20 minutes. So what that suggests is that, and we should have up to 2 rounds of questions for our panel members. So that was what that suggests, is that they've got to be very time conscious. We gathered here because 2 prominent political figures in Akwa Ibom elected deliberately to have a handshake and proceeded to have an embrace. Exactly 399 days ago, precisely on the 6th of June last year, His Excellency the Governor reached out with a handshake to the distinguished Senate President. And that was indeed the handshake session. And then on the 21st of that June 2025, there was a coronation of that handshake. It came in the form of a warm embrace. And 1 year since then, we've witnessed an unprecedented level of peace in Akwa Ibom at a time that we are constantly being appalled at what we hear from other states and other climes. Today, we stand tall as one state who is in the middle of a leadership recruitment process. But it looks as though, as the distinguished Senator Ibo Esen said, it looks as though we are lining up to go take communion. These men here are going to give essence to this collaboration that we've enjoyed as a state, the impact of which has been far-reaching and pretty impactful. And I'd like to commend them once again. I'd like you to please put your hands together for a wonderful panelist as we get set to roll. I would start with a man who has been around for long enough to have seen the Old Testament and the New Testament. He has worked with different governors over the years. At some time, we had different venues before we could select the governorship candidate of a party as at that time who was to fly in the election. But today, the story is different. But I'm sure there are other fine lines that have not been captured in the course of all those recollections. And I'd like to please help us. For the sake of especially the Gen Zs, there are some 19-year-olds here, some 20-year-olds here, who were either not born or they were too young as at 1999. or even as at 2015, who might not understand why we had to set aside a day to celebrate these two great leaders. I'd like you to please take us through the past and then connect us with the present so we see the gulf between what the Old Testament was like and what we are currently with.
About to address the United Nations because of the substance and the persons in here. Because the chairman had particularly asked me to break something down some way, especially for a particular set of persons in the audience, I would like to please ask you to allow me to juxtapose my initial submission against the backdrop of an illustration. And the illustration goes like this. This one, even anyone in the primary school can follow. So there will be no gap in between. There was this man. He was married. He had 2 children. Then all of a sudden, his wife died. So he was only left with man and 2 children. There was this woman. She was married. She had 2 children. At some point, the husband died, and she was left with only herself and her 2 children. As fate will have it, someday, somewhere along the line, they met, and they decided to marry. Woman who lost her husband and has 2 children decided to wed the man who lost his wife and has 2 children. So they moved into their home of 4 children, 2 from the woman, 2 from the man. And they also had some connubial rights that gave them the power to also bring up their children. And they did. So they also had 2 more children. So there were 6 children in the family. But somewhere along the line, as the family grew, something started to happen. The man and the wife began to give luxurious treatment to the younger children. They got the best settings, they got the best of treats, they got the best foods. They were given first class existence in the house as if the other ones were not their children. It happened for quite some time until one day the man left for work. And the other 2 children from the woman, the 2 children from the man ganged up and gave their 2 children a beating. And as they were beating the 2 children up, the wife arrived and tried to separate. She could not. Then she picked up the phone and called the husband and said, "Darling, please come. Your children and my children are about to kill our children." That's the lowdown. Why would their children not kill these other children who were unfairly treated? Fratricidal feuds can never be the background of progress. Collaboration is. Uncompromising antagonism can never be the hallmark of coexistence. What is a nurtured, highly programmed, person-to-person situation where you know where you stand. If the family had known that these are children from the same family, there would not have been any friction within the home front. So the point I'm just trying to make with this story is to let everyone know, no matter which angle we want to take this matter from, the underlying factor is fairness and a whole more degree of fairness. The underlying factor is understanding and a whole big range of understanding. It said that a house divided against itself shall not stand. We must learn to create a house that is not divided. We must learn to create a house that stands not only for us, but against the things that can divide our house. I told you I was just going to drop an introductory illustration. I'll leave it at that point to see how much it syncs with our people. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to move over to you, Dr. Sendwese. You've been around also for long enough. I'd still like you to take a bite on that question I raised. You've served 3 different governors as aides, and so some of these pictures painted here of how the past was like, you can, truly and aptly resonate with them. So I'd like you to take us back in time. Incidentally, you are the SSA to the governor on research and documentation. So this is a fitting question for you. Still give us a bite of how the past was like. And I'm still doing this for the sake of our children who could just saunter into this space and do not understand the essence, the true essence of this event. Give us a bit of how the past was like against the backdrop of what we're experiencing now, in addition to what other speakers had hinted on. Dr. Sendwese.
Thank you very much. With due respect to Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, my privilege to be here. And of course, I'm coming from a point of disadvantage because I'm being asked to speak immediately after an orator, a renowned orator, certified, someone we've always admired from a distance, and then we're so privileged to be quite close to him here. So I think I'm a bit disadvantaged. So if I'm a bit tense, I would appeal that you pardon me. This is not me. Now the truth is this. Of the truth, I have been around for quite a while. I've been in the era of the first civilian governor after he returned to civil rule in Nigeria, in Akpabio State. And I've seen also the challenges that that government faced as a result of having 2 fronts. There was the Abuja front, there was the Akpabio front. I can remember vividly that long after the 3-day primaries that produced a candidate for the party in 2006 December, long after that, it was difficult for the only electronic media we had in Akpabio State at that time, the AKBC, to announce the winner. Why? Because the Akpabio front did not support the outcome of that primaries. And so, at some point, a running mate was nominated for the candidate. The deputy governorship candidate was announced, and the governorship candidate was yet to still be announced for a while, until the Akpabio State front went ahead for what they now called a consensus to produce a candidate. Once that government came in, it was very difficult for major players in that government to synergize with those who were originally the frontline members of the Akpabio front. So there was still that polarization in the polity in Akpabio State. But then, the product of that process, the distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, then Chief Godswill Akpabio, was a master strategist and a man who could wriggle out of any storm. And even with all of that, he was able to make notable imprint in Akpabio State, birthing the era of the uncommon transformation. Then we now had the period of Mr. Dom Emmanuel as governor. Before then, Akpabio State was PDP, and at the national level, we also had PDP at the helms. But then, by 2015, things changed, and then we had a different party, the APC, at the national level, while at the state level, we had the PDP. And it was difficult for synergy to exist. I mean, for a state where in a tenure of a single party, both national and state, there was polarization. So imagine when there was now a different party at the center. Of course, there was a very big gap. And that had a very adverse effect in Akwa Ibom State. It was difficult for you to visit someone's house if that person was not in your party. There was serious division in the state. And it was even surprising that even with that, we still had so much recorded in Akwa Ibom State as development under that immediate past dispensation. So I think it's a very big credence to the governor of the state 2015 to 2023 that even in the face of that, he could still achieve much in Akwa Ibom State. And then we now have the era of the golden era of Pastor Mo, Now, I like to liken his experience or his own attitude to what happened in the Bible. And by the way, I have to justify my title as a deacon of the church. Now, in the Bible, we all know that David was a very great king. He was renowned as the greatest king in Israel. But even at that, there was never peace throughout his period of reign. The Philistines, the Amalekites, the Amorites, the Phoenicians, and all of that, always at war with him. And it was even worse because the war came to his own household. From his own household, from under his loins, there were serious bickerings. So all through his period, it was war. But then when he handed over to Solomon, his son, I remember that advice he gave to the son: you are a wise man, and I know that you will tread cautiously. That is what happened in the case of Pastor Moeno. When he became the governor, he knew the challenges that this state faced, having to have two fronts, the division, the polarization, and all of that. And what he did first was to move for reconciliation. And I think that has been the background to the peace, to the unity, to the uncommon synergy that we now enjoy in Akwa Ibom State today. And I think that deserves some bit of round of applause.
Beautiful.
So my own submission is that what has happened today in Akwa Ibom State under Pastor Moeno is a leader
of this marriage between the distinguished Senate President and His Excellency the Governor. Pundits would argue that the first line of beneficiaries of this handshake are political office seekers. Because after the handshake and the embrace, there was an agreement. And the concomitant outcome of that agreement is that some people are going to be strolling into Parliament for either their second or their third term, almost pro bono. Apologies to the, to the lawyers who are here. But I'd like you to take time out to highlight the gains of this, warm embrace between these two political figures. What have we actually gained ever since this happened? And I'm just playing the devil's advocate, not as if I don't know, but just so we make it resonate. What are the gains we've derived ever since these two political figures came together?
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, heavily represented by our boss.
Sorry, I did the protocol, so you can just go ahead with the question because of time. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Senate President, thank you so much. The chairman of our panel and my panel members. Let me seize this opportunity to express my profound gratitude for this opportunity given to me to address these wonderful men and women of Akwa Ibom State. My brother, sincerely, I'm going to borrow some words from the first and the second speakers, because just like you've asked, have been in the business of politics, by the special grace of God, have served my people 2012 through 2015. 2017 through 2020, 2020 through 2024, and today. If you look at the number of years I have just mentioned and the experience gathered, I will sum it by saying that what we are saying today in Akwa Ibom State is a divine will of God.
because when we came into politics, there was a time that you will have to fight, you will have to struggle, you have to a point, if you are a member of this party, you're not even allowed to buy things from another party's members' shop. To a point that the whole problem was escalated down to even at the grassroots. But today, we are freely enjoying here in Akwa Ibom State. If you look at all the nook and crannies of Akwa Ibom State, you will see massive development in all the edges of our dear state, courtesy of this collaboration. So let me allow us this opportunity to know that there can be no development without peace. There can be no development without unity. For our two leaders to come together and allow peace to reign in our dear state, sincerely, is highly unprecedented.
Thank you.
So today, we are seeing all this because the two leaders have agreed to come together and work for the overall development of our Akwa Ibom State.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for the Right Honorable Sunday Festus. I now come over to Barrister Kem Fonneke, who represents Dr. Patrick Omo at this event. You belong to the youth demographics, and I'd like to ask you this question. When opportunities such as this, present themselves, there's always a tendency for us, for certain people, to leave the substance and pursue shadows. I'd like you to tell us, by benefit of hindsight and from what you've observed, how much of this huge opportunity would you say that the young people have taken advantage of? Looking away from political perks and patronages, how much of the concomitant benefits of this synergy would you say the youths are leveraging on and preparing themselves, from there as a platform for the future? So much so in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years, when we're going to be looking at what is happening to us today, as part of our history, somebody like you can thump your chest with pride that you witnessed when it happened and you saw young people took advantage of the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I like to think that young people are the biggest beneficiaries of the Akwa Ibom United atmosphere. When you look around the governor, you will likely see more young persons playing critical role that were previously preserved for elders. I mean, we have an easy example here. The representative of the governor at this event is a young person. When you also look at the Senate President, you will find that a lot of young persons have enjoyed opportunities. He has supported, so for example, the Member of Parliament, who I am representing at this event, is a young person who was mentored by the Senate President. And that is well, one could say the political class. But then you look at the business and the business owners, a lot of contractors in Akwa Ibom are young persons. There's a road here, the Gority Road here in Ikot Ekpene. The contractor who did that road, Wanukeme, is a young person. So it looks as if there's a conspiracy of young persons in this particular government. And I must say that while we, the young persons, may not have been the one to bring the Senate President and the governor together, but it will look as if we are, in fact, the biggest beneficiaries of the administration. And more young persons are positioning themselves with the opportunity that the governor, in terms of empowerment, in terms of the development stratas, a lot of young persons are also preparing themselves in the business world, in the political world, in all various sectors of this country professionally, to assert themselves and take advantage of this atmosphere of peace. Where, like the chairman of Orowanam said, where there is peace, there's progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, let's put our hands together for Barrister Nick. I come over to you, Adede Aniekpeno Tom Mpana. And pundits and political naysayers are of the opinion that what we are seeing, all of that which we are celebrating today, is a transient, short-lived political marriage that is going to, witness a divorce before we hit 2031, when the contestation for who will succeed Pastor Omono would have hit its peak. I'd like you to speak to this insinuation. How fallacious could that be? And if yes, why do you think it's fallacious?
Thank you very much, Mrs. Chairman. I got a little bit excited when you brought on the issue of how the youth are benefiting. I'll come back to the question you asked me. I may not, speaking off the cuff right now, be able to know the percentage of kids or younger persons that are directly benefiting from government and showing it. Also know that there is an otherwise. And I also remember that day at Uyo Township Stadium, where he was asked to renounce his position and leave, jettison his party. We were nothing in government. We were only budding patriots, young people coming in to watch the system. So we went to his house. In excitement, we refused to see the predicament that faced the big man. We went there to sweep his compound. He had a janitor, but he nicely allowed us in to scrub the floor, to do something to identify with our leader. At the end of the day, Chief Etiebe, to cut this story long because it's a digression, we followed him back to his house after the event at the stadium. And when we got there, he was so excited. And he called me, Beno, said, sir, he said, you people have done well today. Thank you, thank you. And then this great man went into his bedroom and returned with a suit, his own suit, and said, Beno, take. Luckily, you know who Chief Don Etiebe is and how tall and elegant he is. I once saw a painting in Times Square in New York written, men are square. This man is square. He stands square. So when I looked at the dress, the trouser alone came up to this point. And the jacket the chief gave me, if I had put in my hand, the hem got to the knees. I was a young person. I could have vilified the elder. I could have cried wolf. I could have said how much he had his own time and maliciously gave me a jacket that is bigger than me. I'm speaking directly to the young people before I tried to debunk a couple of those fallacies. When we took it home, in admiring that dress, I saw inside the lapel an insignia that said, this jacket was hand-sewn for Don Ubudi Etiebe by a certain address in London. I copied the address. And I took time to write a letter to that company and said, my uncle sews with you. I'd like to sew. Political situation should, as much as possible, decide what to bring out of the polity. Is it the things that will edify us? Is it the things that will bring us down? How can we use the moment to become creative enough to be able to ensure that we add value to the system? So I think that bothering ourselves over what felt may not really matter today. Looking for ways to further add value to what we have is what matters. You don't know what pain His Excellency Governor Moeno and His Excellency the Senate President have passed through in brokering this brotherhood. You don't know how much depth of adversity they have gone through, the pressure, the sheer pressure, but they overcame it and gave us peace. It behoves us, therefore, to expunge the fallacies, reduce the negative tendencies.
I move back to you, I move back to you, Dr. Sendwese. There's no way we'll conclude this conversation without actually bringing the media into the mix. Now, I'd like to once again lend my voice, with those of our other speakers to actually congratulate and commend the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocates for doing this. Now, for me, what they have done is in sync with a quote that I have, that if you cannot commend something when it is good, do not condemn it when it is ill. What I've done today, setting aside a day to celebrate our leaders who made us proud, is for me an impetus for them tomorrow to criticize these leaders whenever they err. And so I'd like you to, at this point, bring into the mix, and I'd like you to try to draw a line, thick or thin, because we live in a state where most of the citizens are very critical. There are cerebral-minded people who are always out to open their eyes and look at what's going on in government. I'd like you to draw a line between armchair criticism and, constructive criticism, which a governor would tell you they're welcome. Draw a line, thick or thin, between both, so that maybe the message could also go to the media personalities who are here. So we begin to define when we are criticizing to signpost a solution as distinct from when we are criticizing to bring down our leaders. Dr. Ndwese.
Yeah, thank you so much. The greatest good I've done to myself is that I've scanned the entire space. I've not seen any of my teachers here. So even if I make any mistake, no one will come threatening me to withdraw my doctoral degree in communication. But I will still do my best. Now, the truth is this. The media has a very critical role to play in shaping the society, in the progress and development of the society. We know that even from the pre-independence era to the post-independence era, the military era, and even under this democracy that we have in Nigeria now, it's always been the media charting the course. The earliest nationalists we had in this country were media professionals, and they were able to recourse to the agenda-setting function of the media to create a narrative and, of course, shape people's opinions on issues. Now, what the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District media advocates have done is that they have decided to play that critical traditional role of the media, ensuring that people are able to come and embrace the benefits of the unity, the synergy between the two leaders in this state. What they are doing now will make it highly difficult for any mischievous person anywhere to rise up and start throwing spasms and spanners against the unity of these people. And so I must commend them for that. And I must also tell them that what they're doing clearly is to do their own part in trying to debunk in trying to decapitulate the Elizabeth Noel's theory of spiral of silence. And that theory propounds that most times few people have dominance of the media space. And because they are very vocal, a large majority who know the truth and remain silent are not heard. And because these few ones are the ones making the noise, their voices tend to override every other, the entire fabric of the society, and end up getting people misinformed. So coming out now is a good development, and I believe that every right-thinking person in this state will embrace this initiative and understand that if division in the past did not do us any good, then we should all support the unity agenda. I mean, who would have believed that we could all come to a platform and sit down together and discuss like brothers and sisters and tap from the wisdoms of our parents, of our leaders, of our elder statesmen. For the last, before 2023, which function did we have in Akpabio State where we could have the opportunity of seeing Chief Don Etebet in attendance? It was impossible. So today, we are able now to have all of those leaders this state has produced able to unite together, and we are free. Just like my colleague, the chairman of this forum, was able to go to everybody's houses to invite them to come and support this cause. We are able to come out and share understanding together without being scared that possibly we could be reported that we are playing anti-party. The Akpabio United under Governor Moeno has united us, and it is ours to keep. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, let's put our hands together once again for Dr. Isen Ndueso. I'm afraid because of time and the lack of it, and whereas our dignitaries have got to run out and attend to other activities before the day is actually done, I like to say this is where we draw the curtains on this policy discourse session of this event. Quite a number of other issues I would have ordinarily loved. We possibly can, let's play down on tendencies that would tend to be tantamount to hitting one leader's head against the other. I'd like to thank my panelists for a wonderful and insightful session that helped us out. Once again, we'd like to thank, let me start, the one seated very close to me, Barrister Kemfo Neke, is the treasurer of the All Progressives Congress Akpabio State. Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for Barrister Neke. Thank you. We also had very wonderful contributions from Dr. Isen Ndueso, who is the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Research and Documentation, and also the Dean of Personal Aids to the Governor. Let's put our hands together once again for him. And then the very iconic Adede and Ekpene Tom Panan. Thank you for all the insights you brought to this session. We appreciate it. Thank you and God bless. And then to the chairman of Oruwanam Local Government Council, the Right Honorable Sunday Festus, thank you for the insights you also brought. My name is Itoro Kolumba. It's been my pleasure serving you. Please, let's put our hands together for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very fine gentlemen. Can we please put our hands together and celebrate all of them? Always a pleasure to have Honorable Itoro Kolumba doing what he loves to do best. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, panelists, we just take a short photograph here before you leave. Thank you very much. And while that is going on, Brassman, thank you. Thank you, Brassman. Please, while that is going on, let me respectfully invite Mr. Ikot Ekpene to please step forward. He will do the brief, Dr. Ikot Ekpene rather, he will do the brief presentation of the magazine put together by this association, and then invite a special guest for the unveiling. And all of that will happen within 3 inelastic minutes. Thank you very much. I trust Dr. is here. Thank you very much.
Provided you've not started counting the minutes. the contra-myopic leader and Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, GCON, the nucleus of the unity and peace of Akwa State and Governor of the state, His Excellency Pastor Umoino, PhD, here ably represented by the performing Honorable Commissioner in the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Chairman on the occasion, distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. If I were to have the time, Your Excellency, I would have done a review of the magazine about to be presented, but since there's no time, let me just go through some salient aspects of the publication. Your Excellency, the title of that magazine is carefully selected to be The Confluence, and that is both figurative and, in quotes, instructive. For there to be a confluence is a product of moving waters. Confluence is not a product of stagnation. For us to have a confluence simply means the Senate President is performing from his end while the governor of the state is also performing from his own end before they meet in what could be likened to what we have at the confluence town in Lokoja, somewhere in Kogi State, where River Niger comes all the way from the Guinea through Sierra Leone, Mali, and Niger to come to Nigeria, while Benue comes from somewhere in northern Cameroon to meet at the same location. Another very salient aspect of that publication is that the confluence is being published by people from Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District is synonymous with peace and unity. Briefly, when Nigeria decided to be one through our own son, the late General Philip Effiong, even at the fact that he signed that peace accord for one Nigeria in Lagos, he decided to come and live in Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, specifically Ikot Ekpene local government area. 1,000,001 things to say concerning the importance or significance of the title of the magazine and where it is being published from. Your Excellencies, since I'm not doing a review, permit me to say that the magazine you are about to see, when you count all the articles therein, you realize that there are only 27. It could have been 100, it could have been more. Why is it 27? Because 2027 is a done deal for the governor of Akwa State and the president of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. No good publication lacks weakness. The only two weaknesses of the magazine is that, one, the Senate President has given us so many projects that we were unable to carry on. In fact, we are told that not all of his projects are documented. The second weakness is that the governor of Akwa State, here ably represented by the performing commissioner, might decide on his way back to the state to stop by at the medical city or medical corridor to inaugurate or to direct that a new road should be constructed for the people. And when and if that is done, that will not be contained in the book. Apart from that, the magazine is good in form and in content, just like our two leaders are leading us well in their appearance and in their deliveries. So it is on that note, Your Excellencies, that I will respectfully invite the chairman on this occasion, distinguished Senator Emmanuel Iborosien, to please accept to come and lead in the unveiling of the magazine. I am also directed to invite the representative of Honorable Imo Akpan himself, Ms. Barrister Tony Uronsak, to come and take charge of that brief ceremony. Thank you very much.
The representative of Barrister Ikot Ekpene to please lead other members to please, this way, sir, for the unveiling of the Conference magazine. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of our dignitaries and our special guests, especially the representatives of our governor and our Senate presidents for still staying till now. We do not take this for granted. We really do love you. We appreciate our father, Tuekong Donetievit. Thank you very much, the brass band.
Your Excellencies, to unveil this book, I would like to invite His Excellency to join me, and I would like to invite the representative of the Senate President, Tuekong Donetievit, and the keynote speaker, Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem, SAN, to please join. Plus the chairman of the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocacy. Okay, thank you. Let His Excellency come close. It is a great joy that the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocacy have published this noble book. And on that note, I want His Excellencies to join me to unveil this book in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Give one to everybody. All the chairmen of local governments, please come out. Led by the chairman of Ikot Ekpene local government. House member Senudim, please come.
The unveiling of the conference.
House of Representatives, please come. Dr. Andy Ayo, please come.
Very iconic, very significant. The coming together of
Chairman,
two distinguished...
please hold the book. Obongowan, Obowo, please come. Obongowan, please come out.
Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate our beautiful women. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, this event will not be complete if we do not appreciate and acknowledge some of our leaders who have done so well in their different fields and endeavor. Let me therefore invite the President of Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocate, Mr. Emmanuel Akpabio, to please accept to come handle this session of awards where our sons and daughters who have done excellently well will be awarded. Can we please put our hands together as he will handle this as fast as possible.
Thank you, the brass band. Thank you, thank you. Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. There is this Latin adage that says, quid quid bonum, quid pulchrum, quid honestrum, laus dignum est. And that is what is good, what is beautiful, and what is honorable is worthy of praise. And before we can have our leaders perform excellently well, that is because the followers and of course the society have been very, very supportive. And it is at this backdrop that today ISMA have chosen to select these noble gentlemen and women who have distinguished themselves in their different endeavors quite outstandingly to honor them. And so please, I would like to appeal that we have about 20 and I would like to take them in force. Take them in force. So please, as I invite the first batch to please come, I would like to please request that the awards, this very category of awards, will be presented to them by Engineer Etido Inyang. So please, could you accept to come up as I invite the the recipient of the Outstanding Young Professional Award, Engineer Ubong Umo. Please accept to come up. Please, let's encourage him. Let's put our hands together and celebrate him. And let me also acknowledge and welcome Ambassador Sunday Usigifo. This gentleman is the coordinator of non-indigents in Akwa Ibom State. And he has distinguished himself. But of course, it's right to say that the governor's humanitarian services has been quite contagious at where he is. And so please, his representative should come. And we also want to invite another awardee of the Humanitarian Excellence Award, Prince Ukeme Ukbong. This one is widely known as the Junior Monty, doing excellently well. And of course, like his own leader and mentor has done, please, these gentlemen, these recipients, these awardees that I've called, should please do well to just come forth, please. Just come forth here, just come forward so that we present and then we leave. And I invite my brothers, the Central Planning Committee, to just make the awards available. And I shall also invite Pathfinders awardee. This goes to the Censor newspaper. This newspaper is published by architect Ubogutom Nya. And of course, they've done excellently and amazingly well. And so we'll now invite Engineer Etido Inyang, who would please do justice to these very first categories of award recipients. And these will just be done very, very quickly and in quick succession.
Of ISMA, I hereby present to you Engineer Ubong Ubo, Outstanding Young Mining Outstanding Award. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Please, you will just step aside and hold on for a photograph with your badge. Thank you. We now invite representative of Ambassador Sunday Usigifo up next. Thank you so much. Please. Please, you take the photograph in batches. The awardees in batch should just be on standby. Just hold on. Let him hold on. Take it in. Just hold on. We'll present the award. Take the photograph in batches. Humanitarian Excellence Award.
Yeah, on behalf of ISMA, I present to you Ambassador Sunday Usigifo, Outstanding Humanitarian Excellence Award. Congratulations.
Okay, Mukbang's representative, please. Thank you very much. Please, up next is another Humanitarian Excellence Award presented to Prince Ukeme Ukbong. I want to appeal to Engineer Etidi Yang to just make the presentation. Thank you.
Ubong Ukeme Ukbong, Prince Ubong Ukeme Ukbong, I hereby present to you on behalf of ISMA Outstanding Excellent Award.
Thank you very much. And then the last in this category. Oh, please, representative from Censor newspaper available. Okay, please, absent of this, we just take this badge. Please, the badge should just take this photograph. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. Please, next, I would like to invite another batch of awardees to please accept to come up. First on my list is the gentleman that is making waves. Today is having a handshake with the governor of Cross River. Tomorrow is with the governor of Niger Delta. Next tomorrow is thinking of how to attract investments to Akwa Ibom. Of course, the history of Bank of Industry in Akwa Ibom cannot be complete. And even the gas stations that we are creating cannot be complete without this gentleman. Mr. Mposong Asukwo Business Development Leadership Award. Please, let's put our hands together as he comes up. Thank you very much. I'd also like to invite icon of gender emancipation. Dr. Elisha Hatai, please. And so we also like to invite the woman that has paraded the highest number of women today in this hall. One, Alice Marcos Okporo, icon of women empowerment. Let's put our hands together, celebrate. And so, last on this is a company that has constructed the longest stretch of roads in the last 3 years under His Excellency Pastor Moeno. And that goes to the company that has constructed the 4th largest, longest bridge in Nigeria, Amitech Construction and Development Limited. Represented at this event by Barrister Peter Umaro. Please, they come forward as I invite the very legendary Aniegbono Mbanang to please accept to do this for us. Thank you very much. Please, let's encourage him. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Mr. Chairman, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to hand over this award to Mr. Mposong Asukwo.
Congratulations to Mposong Asukwo.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please just step aside and hold on. Thank you. Next.
By the powers conferred on me at this point and moment, I want to most respectfully hand over this memento of honor to Obawa and Alice Marcos Okporo.
Congratulations. The next award, please. The next one, very much Adede. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, the women. I've been informed that Mposong just has 1 minute to just say hi to His Excellency the Governor and the Senate President. You can say your hi.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our proud sons, our proud daughters, our proud mothers, and our congregation of faithfuls from Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District in extension to the entirety of Akwa Ibom State. I feel particularly elated and most humbled to be on this exalted podium in this event that is organized by the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Movement. I count it a privilege, I count it joy, and I want to take the word of the French philosopher René, who said, I am, therefore I am. And I know this august and noble idea is a reality because you have dreamed, you are. And I want to wish you very well. I want to envisage that this is just the beginning for this filial unity, this bond of togetherness, this occasion that has brought us together as a people, not just to showcase our potentials, but to also showcase the rich heritage of our place. I want to again congratulate the organizers, led by my brother, Mr. Akpabio, and everyone who have made this a success. I want to again say thank you. And I want to particularly dedicate this award to God Almighty and to my family, who excused me on several occasions to stay out of the house of our family, going around different places, trying to build humanity, trying to build enterprise, trying to build growth, trying to build people. And on behalf of the recipient, I will make a support to encourage, to become a tonic to this platform with the sum of 1 million naira. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mpasong Asukwo. Really appreciate you. Please, we now take the next batch of awards. And so we'd like to, at these points, invite local government council chairman awardees. And let me start by inviting for Leadership Excellence Award, the Vice Chairman of Algon and the Chairman of Ikot Ekpene Local Government Area Leadership Excellence Award. Please, let's welcome Honorable Elder Adefiok Nkom. Let's put our hands together and celebrate him. Thank you so much. And I would also like to welcome the next council chairman. This gentleman, it is on record that he has the returnership in the highest amount of radio stations, media houses, newspapers in this state currently. He is a friend of the media. And so let me invite most media-friendly chairman of the year, Right Honorable Elder Sunday Festus. Let's put our hands together and celebrate him. And so also, let me invite, because when you know the chairman of the year, you understand that Gideon Uwa is a product of excellent leadership, courtesy of Emmanuel Enoyem, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Please, let's celebrate these awardees. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you, please.
Congrats.
Please. I'll be reliably informed that the photograph is not so nice here. So I'd like to please request our Senior Advocate of Nigeria to kindly lead the awardees downward so that we take the photograph downstairs, please. We can turn down. As you're about to go down, we take it downstairs. Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to invite for this category, Excellent Champion of Enduring Impact Award goes to an organization that represents excellence in community development, excellence in educational advancement, and excellence, we are talking about welfare schemes. This organization has employed thousands of people across the world, and we can't even mention the number. So let's welcome the MD founder, CEO of EQS for Champion of Enduring Impact Award, Dr. Andy Ayo. Please, let's put our hands together and welcome him. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's celebrate him. And I would like to most respectfully, please, invite Honorable Prince Ukpong Akpabio to please accept to come and do this presentation for us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. And also in this category, we have a leader and care construction limited, please. While Mr. Abasema Akai takes 4 more leadership academy, please. Thank you. Abasema Akai, more leadership academy. Thank you so much. We have received a donation from Obongowan Alice Marcos, the sum of $500. Thank you so much, Ma. God bless you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. While Honorable Prince Akpabio is still here, he is also an awardee, and so he won't go down. I would like to most respectfully invite distinguished Senator Emmanuel Iboresian.
Congratulations.
Himself a former legislator. So please accept to walk up the stage and present this award to the Legislator of the Year. Prince Akpabio, please. He is the Akwa Ibom State Legislator of the Year. He has the highest number of motions and bills in the 8th Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. Please, let's put our hands together and celebrate him. I'd also like to invite in this category the Federal Lawmaker of the Year, and that goes to Dr. Patrick Umar. Equally, he has the highest number of motions and bills amongst all legislators in Akwa Ibom State. Please, let's put our hands together and celebrate them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have just 2 left, and it is a wrap.
To the glory of God, I present to you this distinguished award as the best lawmaker of the year in Akwa Ibom State. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Equally, we present to Dr. Patrick Umar, please, behind you. Dr. Patrick Umar, Federal Lawmaker of the Year. Thank you so much. He chairs the Committee on Health Institutions. He's committed to, he's a great advocate of good governance. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Prince Akpabio. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And so we'd like to most respectfully invite to come on stage the representative of Barrister Imo Effiong Akpan, the champion of institutional reforms. Thank you.
Dr. Honorable Patrick Umar, who will soon be Right Honorable Patrick Umar, I present to you this award from Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocate as the best performing federal legislator from Akwa Ibom State. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. In the same vein, distinguished Senator Emmanuel Iboresian will also help to present this award to Barrister Imo Akpan. For this, I want to appeal to distinguished Senator Emmanuel Iboresian to lead these awardees downward so that we can take this picture downstairs. Next awardee is a man that is excellent in cultural preservation. He has done this excellently well, that everywhere around him, everything around him represents our culture. He is none other than the awardee of the Cultural Renaissance, Mr. Ikot Ekpene. As I invite Emmanuel Enodem once again, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, to kindly assist to come and present this to his kinsman. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As I will invite, okay, thank you.
A very deserving award. Congratulations, my brother.
Please, while Emmanuel Enoidem, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is waiting on stage, I would like to please invite the representative of His Excellency the Governor to please accept to come with Atuekong Don Etiebet on stage so that we can honor this man. Of course, the representative of the Senate President would lead this great man on stage as we would honor him. Atuekong Don Etiebet, a legend, a living legend, and of course, one of the very senior advocates of good governance in Akwa Ibom State. But let me request that before His Excellency the Governor presents this award to Atuekong Don Etiebet, he would first of all present this award to Merchants of Life, Award of Merchants of Life to Emmanuel Enoidem, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. His Excellency, the Governor's Rep, will please first accept to present Merchants of Light Award to Emmanuel Enoidem, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And afterwards, the Senate President's Rep and the Governor's Rep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We now invite the representative of the Senate President together with the representative of the Governor to present the award of the Lifetime Achievement Award to Atuekong Don Etiebet for his pioneering role in the advancement of democracy in Akwa Ibom State. Your Excellencies, please.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. To give goodwill message on behalf of all of us. To give goodwill message on behalf of all of us at this event. Let me invite
Akpabio, Akpabio, YCON, ably represented by his own local government chairman, Honorable Elder Ntido Usoro. Your Excellency, the excellent governor of Akwa Ibom State, I call him the excellent governor all the time, and I will tell you why. Ably represented here by Nkison Frank Achibong, Honorable Commissioner, I would like, because we have spent a lot of time here, there's no more time to observe and stand on all the protocols that have been enunciated, stated, and observed by all the former speakers and the MC and all of us. Today is a great day in my life. At the age of going to 82 in September, I'm happy, I'm very, very happy to be here to watch these very singular events that have been put up by the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial media advocates. As I said before, there is no more time, too much time today to speak a lot. But please, bear me to say a few things to underscore the importance of this event today. As I tell you, with my age, I've been there for a long time. I've been operator, initiator, worker in the politics of the southeastern states. I became Cross River State, been in the politics of the creation of Akpabio State from Cross River State. I've been there since 48 years ago, 1978, when the Constitutional Conference delegates were elected, and I participated in it. I've been there in the first attempt to create Akpabio State, called Mainland State at that time, and we know what we went through. And finally, I was there when Akpabio State was finally created with the capital at Uyo. We give thanks to Almighty God. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating history today. History of collaboration, history of working together, history of synergy, history of understanding. My grandmother used to tell me that as you are growing up, what important thing you have to take into cognizance in your growing up is your character. She used to say, Ibarawo, Ibat Owo. The character of a person is that people had to, civil servants had to wear a certain loincloth every month and in order to receive their salaries. You may not have been old enough to witness that epoch. That there was a reason that a very important group, ethnic group today, was created. Akwa Imaisong, Akpabio, was created. And Mpisong of that organization is here today with us. Whether, because a young man, whether he knows the history of it, I don't know. But at the same time, concomitantly, the Afena was also created. Then the Mbo Mparawe Akpabio. Then the Atiena and Tafena, all of them came together as a result of political infighting and ethnic rivalries, which brought together were the reasons for the disparities and misunderstanding of the different ethnic groups in this state. So much so that you will not believe this. The NTA, Nigerian Television Authority, in their news broadcast in this state at 9 o'clock, were broadcasted in 7 dialectical languages in this state. 7. This is a state where we all understand our languages. We speak them. But why was it so that we had to relay news in NTA in 7 dialects? It was all as a result of the ethnic rivalries that existed in this state in those days. I'm happy that we are here in this hall, and it's called Atiena Hall. A man, a young man, or old man, and there was not a young lady, a biker, in this senatorial district that has the ati, inwek, to impregnate a young lady that will bring out a young man to become a governor of this state. And today, what has Ikot Ekpene Senatorial got? We had got a governor of Cross River State. We had got a governor of Cross River State. We had got a governor of Akpabio State. And now we have the number 3 citizen of this country. So when Emma Akpabio called me and told me, Atuye, come back, I want you to come and be the fathers of the day at a ceremony. I said, what ceremony? He said, a ceremony to celebrate the results of the synergy, the collaboration, the working together of Anangman and Akpabio man to develop Akpabio State in general and Ikot Ekpene Senatorial in particular. I said I must come. Put me down. And as he said, it was scheduled for last week Friday. I canceled every other engagement in Lagos, went to the airport just to hear that it had been postponed till today. And yesterday I sat at the Kenya airport for 6 hours. I left my house at 10 o'clock because the first flight was 11:30. But the flight was postponed till we left Lagos at 5 o'clock. So 6, 7 hours I waited to be here to take part in this August ceremony. I am honestly happy to be here today, that through the instrument of the character of Governor Basi Basi, I'm sorry, that the boundaries that existed, the ethnic boundaries, the parochial boundaries, the tribal boundaries that existed in this state have been dissolved, and I call Basi Umaruno a solvent who has dissolved all this parochialism and brought Akpabio State together so that now we can sit down together and eat together. Do you remember that in this state, people could not intermarry between the ethnic groups? Quote me, and you have many reasons. You were not born then, but ask your father. Yes, there was an injunction like that. They cannot intermarry. The first day the Senate President was inaugurated, and if you can remember, the elections under PDP, under APC, that brought these two leaders into office, you will know that if not for the character of Pastor Omar Basi Eno, there would not have been this synergy of working together. So much so that he was the first person, Omar Basi Eno was the first person. Immediately, President Godswill Akpabio of the Senate came back to his house. He went with many of his commissioners and the executive to pay homage, to pay respect to the President of the Senate. Because many people at that time, many political, I said, I must come. I took a lot of coffee and Panadol this morning to be here. And I want to congratulate the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District media advocates for this very singular event, which I'm sure other senatorial districts will copy so that we can remember what has been happening by collaboration, by people working together, by people loving one another, by people eating together, not with long spoon anymore, by people assisting each other. When I arrived yesterday at the airport, it was my first time of going through the new airport. I said, oh my God, look at what synergy and collaboration can do. Look at what the governor, His Excellency, has done. I mean, if you have passed through that airport and come into the highway, double divided, 6 lanes, well painted, you will know that Akpabio said, God bless Godswill Akpabio, and God bless Ikot Ekpene Senatorial in bringing about this event. Thank you very much. In bringing about this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can we please put our hands together one more time for our leader, the father of the day, Can we please make it some more? Let's celebrate him some more. Thank you very much. Gray hair, wise one. We appreciate you. We continue to celebrate you. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, we are beginning to engage the reverse gears. I'd like to very respectfully apologize for all the groups that we invited. We had earlier informed them that they would perform, but I think all of them will agree with me that time will not allow some of the performances. But please, however, we'll still create time to take the performances immediately after our leaders must have spoken. Let me therefore invite, please, the chairman of the Central Planning Committee, Mr. Samuel Ayara, to please come forward. Your Excellency, may I please crave your indulgence to please come, alongside the President of the Senate. The Chairman CPC will present the awards to both of you, after which he will give the vote of thanks, and then we get the speeches of the Governor and that of the Senate President, and that will be all. May I please invite the representative of the... Thank you very much. Can our Excellencies please come forward?
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we understand so much time has already gone into the works, and I trust that we won't keep you here any longer than necessary. Let me apologize for how long we have taken. Please, women, let's just, you need to honor our governor. All right, so let me thank all of us for coming out, but without not forgetting to remember that, to remind all of us that this day 3 years ago was not like this. So I thank everyone for being part of this history while handing over, yielding this moment for the president to do this very presentation. It is at the center, the very heart of this entire event. All right, so that's a memento from the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Media Advocate to Governor Umoino and the distinguished Senate President Godswill Akpabio. But again, we understand that they would love to say something. We understand they would love to say something immediately after the photograph. Immediately after the photograph, we understand they would love to say something. So we would yield the moment and have His Excellency, the representative of the President of the Nigerian Senate, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, would take the floor first, and then the representative of Governor Umoino, the man who has been widely acclaimed and celebrated as the centerpiece of the new Akwa Ibom, would also have his. And then, without much ado, I'm sure we can extend the microphone for their message at this event. Take the mic. Take the mic. Are they not speaking? Yes.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. At this point in time, we wouldn't want to shift from the new tradition of Akwa Ibom State, where we have our two leaders man the podium to speak together. I'm going to be Iban. I am going to to now the governor get talking to Iban. Dada. So me the Iban me is a committee. But me a free banner the boy I tete. A cop say governor be done. As I invite the representative of the governor and the representative of the Senate President, which is the new culture in Akwa Ibom State, to always come together and speak together. And so let me respectfully invite the representative of the Senate President, Executive Chairman of Sierodim, Honorable Ntiedo Usara, and the representative of the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Right Honorable Frank Achibong. Thank you so much. They will now speak.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. To God be the glory. Because the day has been fast spent, I don't want to waste most of my time. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, the chairman of the occasion, the father of the day, the keynote presenter of the day, all the local government chairmen, the House of Rep members, my House of Assembly members, and all the people that are here in this hall. When I was asked to represent the Senate President, I was very humble. When I came into this hall and sit in that place and people addressed me as the representative of the Senate President, I could not know what to do because the shoe is very big for me to represent the Senate President. But I called him and he gave me assurance that I should come and represent him. I thank the media advocate, Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, for what they have done today. Coming together to celebrate the collaboration, the cane in the collaboration of His Excellency the Governor and the Senate President. This is the media in those days that were against trying to heap an insult on the people in the position of responsibility. But today, they are calling us to give an award and celebrate people today. So I thank him. And that is the primary aim of the cane of the collaboration. The media coming together to give award and celebrate people in leadership. So I thank them and I thank everybody that are here. Since I am representing the Senate President, I'm just a messenger. I will not talk more than that because the shoe is very big. I want to quickly step aside so that I cannot move forward because the shoe is so big for me to wear it. Thank you and God bless everybody.
Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, Well, I'm here representing a pastor. I'm here representing a man of peace. And I'm standing beside my grandfather, a collaborator in the peace movement of Akwa Ibom State. Someone whom I know, the one I'm representing, reveres and loves so much. And let me recognize all of our dignitaries that came here today through our father that will soon turn 82, Otuekong, Don Etievet, and of course the chairman of the day, the keynote speaker, all of the chairmen of local government that are here, the awardees, the House of Assembly member, and members of ISMA. May God bless Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District in Jesus' name. The governor has asked me to come here. He would have loved to be here himself. And of course, you know anything that concerns Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, the governor does not joke with it. Little wonder, all of those surrounding the governor, handling very critical matters for the governor, if you count them, Most of them are from Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. This is not out of favoritism. This is out of the fact that Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District people are very brilliant and creative people. And they are very sound-minded people. The governor would have desired to have a chief of staff, but he has one and has recoined the name to Chief Delivery Advisor. And that Chief Delivery Advisor is from Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. The governor has graciously put a young man I pity so much, Morgan Ekandem, in charge of so many things. And nothing that has been handed over to Morgan Ekandem has gone wrong. Nothing. I mean, nothing. If I go to mention the list from Umoikbo, Enoidem SN seated here, so many Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District indigenes hold very confidential position in the government of Pastor Omoino, and I dare say that the governor doesn't joke with the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. And like a lot of people have alluded, on the 6th of June last year, we crossed over to the APC. What we have not mentioned here is the symbol of the APC, the broom. Because if we want to talk about collaboration, there is nowhere we can divorce the broom from collaboration. Bring out a broomstick. Very easily you can break it. But carry the bunch, you cannot break it. That is the kind of collaboration that His Excellency the Governor has forged with the Senate President. That collaboration has seen to the resurgence of the Convention Center. That collaboration has seen to the resurgence of the 5-star hotel in Tropicana. That collaboration is the reason you can list the number of projects that you have in Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District, and the governor is graciously following up on them. So there is need for us to support Pastor Umo Basi Eno, and then our Senate President as well. I don't want to mention the Ikot Ekpene International Market. If you know what happened before the governor began to do it, because he got from outside the state to even halt on the project, but he went ahead for the love that he has for Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. So this governor deserves our support, and I am more intrigued by the fact that media and the journalists have now begun to collaborate because they have seen our leaders collaborating. As someone has said here, media used to be a thorn in everybody's flesh, but today Akwa Ibom State is peaceful. So I want to thank you. Thank you for the honor that you have given to the governor today. Thank you for the honor you have given to my grandfather, the governor's grandfather, Senator Godswill Akpabio. And thank you, because I believe leaving this place, your reportage will be that will bring peace to Akwa Ibom, not breaking news that will break Akwa Ibom. Spotlight Akwa Ibom with good headlines. Project the good projects that the governor has brought to Akwa Ibom State. For me, that will be a win for ISMA as far as this dispensation is concerned. So on behalf of His Excellency the Governor, I want to once again thank you for the honor. Thank you for inviting us. It's really that support is both the governor and the grandfather, because it's a family matter. It's a collaboration. It is a synergy. The governor has asked me to support the organizers with a token of 5 million naira, and has asked me also to launch the magazine with another 5 million naira. Well, the Ayunu Demondo, and I can Demondo, and I can also call myself a proud son of Ukana. Yeah, because I have a lot of story, I have a lot of links with Ukana. There is no way I will come here in my own personal capacity because the governor has also blessed me sufficiently that I will not also support ISMA. So the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs will support ISMA with a token of 1 million naira. And Frank Achibong, Bright Frank Achibong, Emmanuel Frank Achibong, Nicole, Mariel, and Michelle will support with another 1 million. So thank you, and may God bless us as we continue to live in peace, as we continue to tolerate one another. Let all of these things that we've said here today be what we practice when we live here. God bless us in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, the Governor and the Senate President of the 10th Nigerian Senate, Your Excellencies, the distinguished guests, we've come full circle. May I please request that all of us remain standing. Microphone. Yes, he's bringing it now. Fast now. Fast now. On.
To God be the glory in Jesus' name. We are talking collaboration. I want the chairman to collaborate with these people. You have been given awards today. You have been recognized. You've been sufficiently honored by these people, and it behoves on you to reciprocate. So on behalf of the chairman, please speak. 10 local governments.
On behalf of the Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District Chairman that are here today, we are going to support this program with a sum of 5 million naira.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and thank you very much, our distinguished Chairman of Local Government Council in Ikot Ekpene Senatorial District. A very quick photograph, please. A very quick one. A very quick one. Thank you very much. We appreciate your donation. Thank you. Thank you. Immediately, the governor's representative returned to his seat. The pure brass will give us the national anthem to close. And after that, the cultural troupe will give us a song to dismiss. We continue to thank our leaders, especially the representatives of His Excellency the Governor and our leader, the Senate President. Continue to thank our fathers, especially for staying till this very time. Our keynote speaker, the pure brass, please. The national anthem to close. Thank you very much. God bless you. The cultural troupe now.